Hello there mates, Mooshi Gamer here, and this is ShadowRun Hong Kong episode 43. 43? 44. 44. Okay, so as I loaded in, this happened again and it's kindly changed. So, I'm going to listen to her and see what she has to say, and we can do on to another Talk in HEOI episode. The calmly chirps and kindly changed rusty voice slides through the speaker. You can hear the sounds of Mahjong players laughing in the background. It's Auntie Chang, dear. You've been gone a while, Auntie. I wondered when you were coming back. Listen, I'm kind of busy right now. Let me guess. You come back to tell me another life-threatening Shadowrun that might be perfect for someone of my talent. My, but you sound happy, Auntie Chang. You've been gone a while, Auntie. I wondered when you were coming back. I'm here now, and I have a present for you, little one. She sounds like a big cat sitting triumphant on the carcass of a wildebeest. I have a lead on the location of the plastic-faced man, the man we saw in the surveillance footage meeting Raymond Black at the tea house on the dock. Where is he? Not on the comm. Come see me and we'll talk. 1+1 action point. Your experience has increased your ability to operate in dangerous situations. That is an action. Oh, these are action points. Right? I don't know. Okay. Gobbet now carries a double rat spirit fetish in her standard equipment. Gobbet grants a conjuring spell which sets 4 heavy cover barriers that last 3 rounds. Anyone that enters takes -14 HP and -1 AP damage. Oh, those both sound really good. I don't really know what this does. I like that one though. I really like that one. Just for Grabbit. Gain Cyberware Bright Light System. Isabel gains the Bright Light System Cyber Eye. High energy flash bullets hitting in the Cyber Eye, capable of temporarily blinding an opponent. If the user is brought into a stun state, they will be jolted awake with 1 AP. I like that. Okay. Full auto fire no longer has a -10 penalty to accuracy when used. Ah, that sounds real good. Duncan gains a new weapon, a melee ranged shot baton. It does 4 HP and 2 AP damage per hit, but must be recharged every 2 hits. I really like Lethal Force. The crowd control sounds like it could be good too. I'll do Lethal. Gaichu's metal stance now provides a light cover bonus, preventing critical hits in the open. Gaichu exudes a cloud of disease spores, damaging nearby enemies. An ongoing 3 HP. I like this one. Confirm? Oh. Alright. Exit. And now... I need to increase my strength first and foremost, because there is a strength that I couldn't do and that upsets me. Confirm. I'm not really sure that leaves me with anything else to spend karma on, because all of my stats are getting pretty high up there now. At 3, and my rifle's at 4, pistol's at 4. Yeah. I don't attack unarmed. But no, I don't have anything else to spend it on. I don't use throwing weapons. Did I? Let's revert. Oh, okay. I was thinking maybe I could take from throwing weapons and give it to somewhere else. But I see now that it is not an option. Ooh. I may just go see if there are any new weapons for me to get. Oh hey, there seems to be like a whole section over there. This is my weapons guy, Spider Shin. Let me take a look at your wares. I do have new weapons. But unfortunately, I don't have the required stuff to get done. That's all for now. Alright, let me actually go turn in my payment. And then we can go and see. I might not be able to get any weapons, but I really want to check out that laser gun that we got. Workstation mission complete. Open the jobs directory. Claim payment for Ares prototype run. You submit the job as finished and await the response. A few moments later, a message pops into the screen. Your payment is attached. I confess that I'm very pleased with your work. It's not every runner who could have pulled off a job of this magnitude. Well done. Yeah, thanks. Alright, how much money was that? Oh. Get it. Alright, so let me just go to my room really quick. And is rest an option? Oh, it isn't. That's a first. I'll go to my stash. Probably because I have to talk to Connie Chain. Here is this. Only has 3? I guess that makes sense because it is a really powerful weapon, but goodness gracious. Maybe I'll switch it out for my pistol. I don't really use it that much anymore. Isabel has 2 of these? Oh, right. Because of her skill increase that I did. Close range combat 6? No! No! I did all of that and I can't even use it. Goodness gracious. Where is my ranged combat at anyway? Not at 6. Goodness gracious. Okay, well. That sucks. Alright. Well, it shouldn't take too much to get me up to where I can use it. Let's go see what kind of chain one. Kind of chain. Connie Chang is in the midst of emptying 2 plastic shopping bags when you enter. She places the contents in a pile on her mahjong table, 2 liquor bottles without labels, a box of her thin black cigars, an assortment of individually wrapped gourmet chocolates, and a large caliber pistol with electrical tape wrapped around its grip. Ah, good. You're here. She finishes with the plastic bags and throws them to the floor. It seems like forever since we saw each other. You said you had information to share in person? Here I am. Welcome back. Was your trip worthwhile? Forever? You haven't been gone that long, Auntie. Sure, why not? I like her. No, I haven't. That was just something Nightjar used to say to me. Chang smiles wistfully every time he saw me. While I was away, I met with several contacts within my network who referred me to others in neighboring cities. Regardless of how far technology moves forward, tradition demands that some things be handled face to face. I have information that will lead you to the man who killed Raymond Black. Excellent. While you were gone, we uncovered a relationship between Josephine Sang and Raymond Black. The tired woman's eyes narrowed. Did you? And what was it you uncovered? We've been lied to all this time, Wu and me. Raymond Black is actually Edward Sang. The man who raised us isn't Raymond Black. He's Edward Sang, the son of Josephine Sang. You were raised by Josephine's son? Her brow furrowed. That explains where Edward went when he disappeared years ago. Seattle? What happened? I don't know, just that he went missing after Josephine completed rebuilding the walled city. That was in the early 30s. Her face twisted into a mask of disgust. You realize what this means, don't you, my sweet? That inbred little goat whore was cold enough to have her own son executed. Even more reason to find the plastic-faced man. What have you found out? You said you had news of your own. I told you mine. Now tell me yours. Your turn. I'll go with the first one. Everything you need to move forward. She grabs a bottle and opens it. I know the identity of the plastic-faced man. His name is Lee Tai Lung. He's an independent contractor, a trusted, deniable asset who handles all of Josephine Sang's more delicate operations off the books and away from the public eye. The plastic-faced man is her shadowy right hand outside of the corporation. Thing doesn't bother with a glass. She takes a long pull of the stinking bottle and wipes her mouth with the back of her hand. And I know how to find him, too. I've made contact with an information broker, Zhao Ji, who works out of an abandoned night market in Shek Kip Mei called the Xing House Court. It's not hard to find. She takes another pull on the bottle. Zhao Ji has gained access to the plastic-faced man's complete itinerary, where he'll be, who he'll be with, what sort of security he'll have, the works. She grins, glassy-eyed. You can use it to perform an extraction. Grab him and find out what he knows. Great. The faster we find a plastic-faced man, the faster we get our revenge. Got it. Go to Shek Kip Mei, look for a night market called Xing House Court, and find an information broker called Zhao Ji. Yes, it's all very straightforward. Until it's not. Li Tailong has designed himself to be the perfect corporate operative. He's installed a unique piece of hardware. You see, it allocates and compartmentalizes client-related memories so that they can be erased upon the completion of a job. As an added security measure, this cortical implant will wipe his memory if he detects that he's been captured. Seriously, he can just wipe out everything having to do with saying mechanical services? But we need to find a way to circumvent the implant. Exactly. Unless you can find a way around a cortical implant, you have no way to extract the information he has and figure out what happened to Raymond Black. She circles the mouth of the bottle with her finger. Now, I've done my part in this, my darling. You need to find a way to neutralize that device. Isabel interjects, her voice breaking slightly as she speaks. I know a way. I've heard of something like this before. I met someone in the Matrix who had to shirk a similar memory wipe implants once. It was a requirement for a big job, and she pulled it off. Keep talking. Her handle is Dreamland. I know where to find her. All that we have to do is convince her to give up the secret of how she did it. Okay, Isabel and I would go see Dreamland before we hit the information broker. Then we grab the plastic-faced man. No matter who you choose to help you snatch his guy, I'm gonna be there when you extract the information from him about Raymond. Wu crosses his arm and across his chest and tilts his head towards you. You got it, Mooshi? We should all be there. Gava's eyebrows arch high. I know that I want to see this. Very good, my darlings. Now listen to me. After you get what you need from the plastic-faced man, I want you to end him. You understand? The triad boss taps the table with her finger. I need to send a very clear message that this is what happens when you mess with Connie Chang's operation, with Connie Chang's people. Josephine takes Nightjar, I take her plastic-faced man. Once you snatch the plastic-faced man, Sang will know something is happening, and events will unfold very quickly after that. You best close out any pressing business you have before heading to Shek Kip Mei to see Zhao Ji. Do you understand? Once I snatch the plastic-faced man, I turn off the lights in the ShadowRun store and lock the door. Check. I'll check my mission computer to see if I have any jobs I want to knock out before I hit MTR for Shek Kip Mei. Yeah, I get it. Once we set the ball rolling on this, there's no turning back. I mean, they all kind of say the same thing. Business is business, my darling. Connie Chang rats on the mahjong table with an imitation ivory tile, and business has been good since you arrived. I'm glad that she likes my work. Alright. So, I'm taking that as we are fast approaching the end of the game. Let me go and to my mission computer. So clearly, this one has to be the last one. Alright. Sounds like a plan, chicken stand. Okay. Check your inbox for new messages. I have none. Read your old messages. Open the jobs directory. I've already got all of those. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Access to Shadowland BBS. Search BBS for relevant word keywords. Explosions in Eastern District. What's up with all the explosions rocking the Eastern District? My walls were just shaking. Word has it, Shia Waz has a secret lab tucked away in an old industrial building out here. I'm guessing the rumor is true. Correction, I think Shia Waz had a lab out here. It's really stinky where I'm at. It's a cross between sulfur and weirdly new car smell. I wonder what they were doing. Better put on your gas mask for good measure, man. Decker looking for a team. Experienced Decker looking for a team to run with, potential for a longer term arrangement. I've taken over the business interests of a team of runners running basic heists and the occasional transport gig. I'm in contact with a reliable fixer and will be working with the old team's long list of happy clients. Requirements: you must not take experimental stems during runs, you must not tamper with chemicals in secret labs, you must know how to properly operate a moped, you must listen to your Decker when your Decker says, I don't have control of that turret yet, you must have a good sense of humor, optional. Hey, what happened to Gimme Some Nguyen 888? I recognize this ad. It's his boilerplate. His team is always looking for a new Decker. What the hell happened? You see that 4th item on the requirements list? Oh shit, that's nuts. Are all of them gone? Muffin Top Ninja, Captain Scone? All of them. Even Explodey Suit. I hardly got to know them, but they were good people. What a terrible loss. You had no idea who you were running the shadows with, huh? Explodey was a great war hero, tough as nails. Could have tipped the scales for Taiwan if she hadn't knocked herself out with the force of her own mana blast at a crucial moment. No shit? It gets better. Muffin Top Ninja was one of the most revered martial arts masters in the Jizz until his health began to fail. He was well known for his self-depreciating humor, and Gimme Some Nguyen 888 was a great philanthropist. Every credit he earned, he poured back into helping the indigent population of the walled city where he grew up. And Captain Scone kinda chuckled at his name, but I'm thinking there's more to it. I'll say he was a Scottish separatist who campaigned tirelessly for the restoration of his country. When his activism grew to many enemies, he fled and became a pillar of the Scottish expat community in HK. As for the name, thanks Stone of Scone. These amazing people just couldn't catch a break, and now this. Rip. I'm mortified. I wish I had gotten to know them better. I wish I had gotten that turret down faster. Seems like you knew them very well, then. I suppose so. I'm a Decker who responded to one of their first ads. My gut said not to join them, but we developed a lot of mutual respect over the years. I never thought I'd live to see one of their Deckers live. Well, although it would make 2 Deckers, I don't suppose you'd like to team up? I don't think so. No. Haha. That sucks. Alright. Did I sell any? Ah, I did. Data sold successfully. Winning bid 480. Escrow fee 10%. Funds sent to MS account 432. Let me go. I think Maximum Law took some of my payments. Let me just go over to where he is. Right there. I don't really have too much of a reason to talk to Maximum Law. I forget what it is that he sells, but I don't really use much of it. Got some metadata for you. Oh wow, I have a lot. Entertainment big. Okay. Come by the boat and I'll show you a prototype laser weapon. The recent heist on the Emperor's Tomb Museum, the one under construction, had a specific target: books. Really? Indeed, there is some sort of ancient text, probably sorceress, and awakened monsters had invaded the tomb. Whoa, are you serious? That's nuts. Log slaps to his thigh for emphasis. Boom! More proof for my theory. The Kong is done. Give it 2 years tops before demons or something eat everybody. Let's see what I've got for you. Grab a program. Here's my surplus stat. Log grabs a nearby bin and slams it down in front of you. Check this shit out. I'll do medic. It's a pleasure handling meta with you, MS. Little meta's like a first memory defragment. It makes my whole day better. I don't know. Yo, what are you? My mother? Oh gosh, you with skeptical disgust. Those wires are fine the way they are. High and dry. They're only a problem with someone who does something stupid. I'm running a high bandwidth tech operation. Do I look like I have time to take copper and sip tea? No, I don't. Law wraps his knuckles fiercely on a clear top case full of buses, cables, and cable harnesses. These aren't only wires you need to think about. I got some metadata for you. Yo, tell me what you got. We wrecked the feng shui at Wu Jing's Sky Tower subtly, but effectively. Huh? What? Law waves his finger on his ear as a signal. Are you crazy? All that geometry, feng shui, ancient sorcerer stuff, it's a bunch of dribble. It's all. His voice rises in mockery. Ooh, we proactively boosted our quarterly outcomes by mindfully unlining our beige cushions into a little circle and mooning each other. Spare me, yo. Okay, we full on trash the Sky Tower's top floor. We got blood and gunfire all over their feng shui. How's that for you? The penthouse level is probably still burning. Boom! That's what I'm talking about. Stone Cold Thrash Fest. He breathes a big sigh of release and exhilaration. Why didn't you just tell me that? I guess you just had to build up to it. Now let's see what I got for you. Grab a program. Here's my surplus stat. Check this sheet out. This would be good for Isabel, I guess. I got some metadata for you. The Red Dragon Association just go framed for industrial espionage at Ares Asia. Damn, that's cold. How'd that go down? Let's just say they're getting the bill, but not the goods. Someone stole the prototype from Ares Asia while planting evidence. Vicious. The buzz and networks that they're getting chewed up right now over in Yao Xianmong. I wonder if Ares is in the chewer. Now let's see what I got for you. Hey, you got some new? I'll bill this as a data expense. Bumphill recognizes the intrinsic value of information. Information is money. Boom. I got some metadata for you. Entertainment bigwig Nevermont has a vampire associate. She healed him after his recent auto wreck in exchange for living the high life. Bob scratches his head. No one's gonna believe that. What? It's true. So that's word for word the plot of a side quest in the new expansion pack for Gunjiao Heat, Here of Snake. Everyone's playing it. Memes like that are flying everywhere on the boards right now. I mean, I believe you, MS, cause you're legit, but no one else will. Here, I'll still hook you up. I guess reality is as strange as fiction. Now let's see what I got for you. There we go. I have some metadata for you. Come by the boat and I'll show you a prototype laser weapon. I don't want to sell it. It's not gonna sell it, right? Alright, let me just, I'm gonna, like, okay. I don't think it's gonna sell it. Wicked Law says it with a breath of, oh, you're serious, aren't you? Wow. Okay, that's like way better than metadata. I'm gonna invoice this as full on payday. The trap's gonna freak. Laser like second nature to us. Okay. Here's one of our payday to preloaded crit stick. Law hands you a nondescript certified crit stick and then produces a small slipcase with a first. And this is something special. A game avatar for Inferno Souls built by my friend Shockstat, fully loaded in the frame. Yes? Alright. I don't think that sold it. I think all I did was just show it to him. But I'm gonna double check just to make sure. I worked really hard for that laser gun. No, worth way more. Worth 50 million. It's worth 2,000 if I remember correctly. Get on the boat. Okay, no, I didn't sell it. Alright. I got 450 million just for showing it to him. I guess he took a picture or something. One thing I do want to do is just post that pay data. Access to ShadowRun BBS, post pay data for sale, post experimental errors research. Alright. Walk away. That's actually a fine bit of money that I made. Alright, let's talk to Duncan. The clanking of metal followed by grunts from hard exercise erupt from the hatchway of Wu's cabin. The first thing you notice when you enter is its renewed cleanliness. The food cans are gone and his equipment is neatly laid out on his bedding, everything in its place. Next thing you notice is the smell. It's like a middle school locker room in July. Wu finishes his jumping jacks and grabs the towel off his bunk. His exposed flesh gleams with perspiration. Hey, how's it going? Better. He scrubs his sweaty head with the towel. I let myself wallow for a while, but now it's time to turn things around. We have work to do. What's your deal? What do you think about the last run? That was some real cloak and dagger shit, wasn't it? Hitting a high-tech weapons research lab, framing a triad for the run, dealing with other shadow-running teams? He shakes his head, smiling. Oh, and to top it all off, there is a laser gun there. A laser gun. I didn't know any better. I think that you enjoyed yourself. Getting used to a new life in the shadows, Officer Wu? Hey, look, as a rule, I don't like running the shadows. Given my choice, I walk the straight and narrow. But if I'm gonna be a criminal, this is the kind that I wanna be. The kind with a laser gun. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put in my request right now. The next round we go on, I wanna take the laser. This is me calling dibs. He shrugs, and that's all I've got. I mean, you might as well. I can't use it. Anyway, enough about that. Need anything else? Still thinking about Edward saying. He rolls a towel under his arms. Compartmentalized him. Edward saying is a topic in the file cabinet in my head. I'm only thinking about Raymond now. Finding out what happened to him. What really happened to him. Taking a moment at a time, huh? That's me, Mr. Focus. He continues stretching. We're getting close to the face-to-face man, Duncan. I know, I haven't stopped thinking about him since we first saw him in that video. The one where he attacked Raymond in the Lee tea house. He wipes down on one side of his neck with the towel, folds it, wipes down the other side. Listen, Mooshi, I'm not gonna press you to take when you head out to snatch him. You take the right people for the job, then you get the job done, okay? I don't want to be there when you interrogate him. I want to hear what he has to say with my own ears. Are you gonna have a problem with that? As long as the distraction team remains my decision, I have no trouble with you being at the interrogation. No, of course not. Good, you're my sister. I hate to have to mess you up. He flashes his pearly whites. Like I said, you can take me with you on the run or not. It's your call, but I intend to be there for the fun part. Oh, we'll both have fun with Mr. Plastic Face. Good, let's go down on him together. He drops his towel on his bunk. This is the guy who knows what the hell is going on. The one who may have killed Raymond. I'm gonna squeeze him until I find out what his fucking ancestors know. You'll squeeze whom I tell you to, when I tell you to, as hard as I tell you to. Got it? You'll do what we've got to do to get the answers we need. Just promise you that you'll be in control of yourself, otherwise we are gonna have a problem. Damn right. You told me you were resentful when I took off, but maybe it was how Raymond handled that thing with Doubletray. Let's talk later. Anytime. And go upstairs. Isabel. As you step into Isabel's cabin, she turns to face you. The desk that she's working on is a mess. Blue wrapping and some computer expansion cards lie together in the heat. Isabel herself doesn't look much better. Her eyes are badly bloodshot and her lips have been drawn into a deep frown. You're back. Hey. She sews a box of assorted mounting screws inside her foot. What do you need? How are you holding up? Not great. I'll manage. Don't climb up on me. Tell me what's going on. When I unlocked those old memories, I told you that they were crystal clear, right? Every detail was perfect. It's still that way, and I think that it always will be. Then I guess the question is, the memories aren't going to change. Can you adapt to living with them? Honestly, I don't know. It's like having an detected memory. I'm stuck with a perfect record of every shitty thing that I saw and felt during my childhood in hell. It's not an easy thing to live with. I knew a guy back in the Barrens who got his arms hacked off with a machete. I'm pretty sure that he can't forget his past either, but he found a way to live with it. If the memories are this painful for you, we can lock them away again after all of this is over, and you can throw away the key. Why not just lock the memories away when you're not using them? You have the key, just unlock them again when we need them. I don't know what to say. If the memories are just painful for you, we can't lock them away again after all of this is over. You can throw away the key. That's what I'm hanging on to. The fact that I can ditch my childhood again and forget the things that I saw. All the more reason to get through this business with the Walled City quickly. And speaking of which, if you want to ask me questions about that place, you can go ahead. I think that I've had enough time to process what's in my head. I should be able to give you some answers. Not all the answers, mind you, but something. Now that we've unlocked your memories, I have a question about the Walled City. She runs the tip of her tongue over her lips and nods. A look of fierce determination seizes her. Go on, ask me a question. I'm ready. How did you get out of there when you were a kid? How did you escape? He's a shy. Gobbet let me out. Really? She must have been, what, 9 years old? Figures. You still have been tight for a long time, haven't you? How'd you manage that? The Avatar raises a hand. Go ahead and ask her. I'm sure that she'll be happy to brag about it, but I think we have more pressing matters to discuss. That's all for now. Can we talk about something else? Please. To be honest, almost anything else would be preferable. I wonder if she'll talk about the last run. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out, mostly because with Eris, the alternative is leaving in a body bag, especially when you're stealing a prototype laser. Good pay for it. Good night's work. That's what this business is all about. If you can walk away and get paid, it's been a good job. It's an even better job if you can walk away with a laser. I know I've seen Duncan eyeballing it. He's got that look that kinda gets every time somebody mentions a business opportunity around her. Hungry and eager. Don't tell him I told you that, though. He seems to pride himself on not being a dirty Shadowrunner like me. Anything else you wanted to know? I gotta go, Isabel. Good, because I had enough for one day. I'm tired. Reliving this stuff is exhausting. Come back later if you want. I'll have had more time to unpack this stuff by then. But until then, please give me some space. Sure thing. Got it. Hey, welcome back. Is it too late? No, I already did that. Let's go back to the lesson you're teaching. Any thoughts about the last run? I think that went pretty well. There aren't a lot of runners who can say they went up against errors and came out ahead. Sure, maybe the job could have gone a little smoother, but how are we supposed to account for another runner team showing up? Adaptability, Seattle, doesn't make a good runner. Always go with your instincts. I feel bad we didn't give those runners the laser. I mean, at the time, I was like, oh hell no, I want an awesome laser. But now I'm not so sure. They seem like decent people, and maybe they could have helped us out later. Still, though, we got a sweet laser out of the deal. Pew pew! So what else are you want to chat about? I got a question about Isabel. Oh yeah? Well, sure then, ask away. You told me that you let her out of the walled city when you were kids. Care to fill in the details on that? Yeah? I guess I'm not surprised. Iz has never been big on padding a story with unnecessary detail. Want to tell your side of the story? Seems that I've got a vested interest in the walled city these days. Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll share. She taps her chin thoughtfully. To start, I guess that you're gonna need to know what the walled city was like when me and Iz were kids. She didn't tell you anything about that, did she? No, she didn't say much, other than that you saved her. Didn't think so. Reaches down, absentmindedly strokes Madness's silky coat. The rat chirps happily at her caress. Well, for starters, you should probably know that the walled city wasn't always as bad as it is now. It was always dangerous, but 10 years ago, it was just a run-of-the-mill slum. Still safe enough that walking in didn't qualify as a suicide attempt. I was in the walled city earlier. I wasn't impressed. I figured that what I saw there had to be the bottom of a downward spiral. The bottom? What you saw? No, Seattle, when you went in the Lotus Den, you were on the outer perimeter of the walled city. What you saw earlier is the best that the walled city of today has to offer. As you go deeper toward the center, it gets a whole hell of a lot worse. Anyway, back when I was a kid, it was pretty much all like what you saw in the Lotus Den. Not exactly Victoria Harbor, but survivable if you knew what you were doing. Back then, I used to play in the walled city. Rat would lead me into all of the nooks and crannies that grown-ups were too big to fit through. There was this other young shaman in there that I used to play with. His name was Happy, or Lucky, something like that. He followed Pig. Nice guy. Good card player. Obviously, none of this was a good idea. A teenage girl going into the walled city by herself, that's a recipe for disaster. I didn't realize any of this at the time, though. I loved playing in the alleys and the crawl spaces of the walled city. It was fun. Was that how you met Isabel? By exploring the walled city as a kid? Where are your parents while you're doing all of this? Yep, inside the wall there are these districts. You were one earlier when chasing after string a vow, the Lotus Den. I didn't realize that the whole walled city was divided up that way. It's real estate. Of course it's divvied up. The choicest pieces go to the biggest fish. It's the same in the walled city as it is everywhere else. Isabel and her family lived in the Mansion District. It's a sort of holding pen for refugees from the Middle East and Africa. Basically anyone who isn't Asian, or European, or goblinoid. It's less pleasant than it sounds. No goblinoids? Aren't there any orcs or trolls in Isabel districts? Why was it called the Mansion District? Locals named it after Chongqing mansions out of the Shim Sha Shui. Sort of an inside joke. The mansions are the unofficial African quarter of Hong Kong. Most of the free enterprise zone's African immigrants settle there if they can afford it. The destitute refugees like Iz and her family don't get to go to the Chongqing mansions. They get herded into the walled city, and once they're inside, the mansion district is where they wind up. Forced relocation, huh? I guess some things never go out of style. No, they don't. And once the refugees arrive in the mansion district, their prospects don't exactly improve. The only things that most of the people in the mansions had in common were the color of their skin and the fact that they were living in crushing poverty. They didn't even have a common language to speak. It was a pretty rough place, lots of infighting, lots of gang-on-gang violence. People did band together for protection, but there wasn't a lot of hope. Everyone lived in fear of being sent deeper into the slum, toward the center. When you start getting dragged in that direction, you don't come back. Reminds me of life in the Barrens. Yeah, I imagine that the two were pretty equivalent back then before the Wall City got really bad. Anyway, this is where I met Isabel. It wasn't long before we were friends. She was interesting. I think that's why I let her latch onto me. The girl was smart and savvy, but cripplingly shy. She didn't belong in the walled city. No one really does, but with her it was painfully obvious. She was like a little mouse crammed into a box full of weasels. It was only a matter of time before somebody snapped her up. So what happened? What led you to take her out of the walled city? Rat happened. She came to me in a dream, showed me that whatever was going bad in the walled city was getting worse. The whole place was rotting from the inside out, choking in bad key and lost hope. I decided to go inside one more time. If I found Isabel, I offered to lead her out. If I didn't, well, she grimaces, spreads her arms. You'd have left her there. I get it. You don't have to explain yourself to me. Thanks. It isn't pleasant to think about, especially considering what a shithole the walled city is now. The truth of the matter is, if I hadn't pulled Isabel out of there, she'd probably be dead by now. I get it. Someone did the same for me and Duncan once. She nods. Yeah, I knew that you'd get it. And I did bump into her, and she did follow me, and Rat got us both out safe. So there you have it. Happy endings all around. What about the other people stayed behind, the other shaman that you knew? What about Isabel's family? She said that they were in the walled city. Why didn't you bring them with you? They went bad. Crazy. That pig shaman that I knew wound up going full on toxic. It was horrifying. He burned himself in an orgy of blood. She shudders. Nasty business, and not for me. Toxic? What does that mean? When the shaman goes toxic, he goes bad. It's like if you invert the usual meaning of a totem, that's what a toxic shaman does. A dog shamans are loyal and friendly, like all good dogs are. A toxic dog shaman is rabid. They're both dog, but there are different aspects of dog. Get it? Yeah, and your pig shaman friend went toxic? That's what I heard. You don't want to know what happened to him, what he became. It was pretty bad at the end. Before the locals overwhelmed him, a lot of people died. What about Isabel's family? She said that they were still in Wall City. Why didn't you bring them with you? You think I didn't want to? She sweeps a loose strand of hair out of her eyes. Look, it was going to be dangerous enough to get Isabel out on her own. Dragging a whole family out with her would have been impossible. Yeah, I get it. I would have done the same thing. Why? Because they weren't like me and Iz. They hadn't grown up on the streets. They were upper class people back in Somalia before they immigrated to Hong Kong. They were hopelessly out of their element. Even if I had managed to find them, they probably would have done something stupid and gotten us killed. You made the right choice. Damn right I did. Even if I managed to convince them to come with us, they would have gotten caught. The Yellow Lotus would have kidnapped them if they were lucky. If they were unlucky, the Thrill Gangs or the Organ Leggers might have gotten them. It wasn't worth the risk to even try. She sniffs. Besides which, Isabel didn't want to bring her family. She wanted to get away from them as much as she did from the walled city. Never could get her to tell me why. That's all. Can we talk about something else? Sure, ask away. I'm all ears. Okay, but I'm actually gonna end the video here. I know we haven't talked to everybody, but I think about a 40 minute talk session is pretty good, and we did learn a lot about everybody here, and that's really what the mission of this long video is. So with that being said, if you liked the video, comment or subscribe below. Thank you for watching, and Mooshi Gamer signing out.